I'm going to start with the trivial, I think, and move, get deeper as we go. Um, I've been, there are things I've been trying to get together, pull together, work on. Oh, geez, for so long that just, I can't seem to make it happen. And a few things, well, one is the mic. I got the thing over here. And I won't trouble to show it to you, but I think it's going to work. I mean, I really think this one's going to work. Everything says, yeah, this is a go. The cord that actually connects it to my phone is the wrong kind of cord. So I had to order an adapter cord. I don't know. I've been working on this for like since I was visiting my daughter, months, it seems like. And that brings me to the second thing, which is that, talk about time being relative. The summer goes so fast. I mean, it just, there are no words. It's just like this bright flash. It's a Roadrunner kind of thing. And the winter goes so slowly. Here a February lasts as long as the entire summer. And it's the shortest month, which is ironic because it doesn't feel like that. I'm really wanting this winter to do it differently, to take advantage of the slowness and the insular, inside activities where you're okay with yourself. And there's some kind of, if you're depressed around here in the winter, just forget it. It's so something to keep the light going. And we're in the fall, this transitional time, where it takes a while for summer to actually disappear, and you're in that liminal space, and then suddenly, oh my God, here it is. This is really winter. I'm in the far north, and it's, with climate change, it's not what it used to be, but it's still dank and damp and cold, and, get the fires going. The one other thing I wanted to mention was that the stories that come out in the daily or, alarmingly frequent videos, I think are influenced by your concerns, that there's something that links you to me to the cards, you to the card. I don't really know how it works, but I think that's what happens, and that when the story resonates with you. And they're general stories in a way, so that, if you had a whole bunch of people, billions of people listening to the channel, I think it would roughly break down the same way that a lot of you, but not all of you, find something in the story. And if you do, please subscribe. For the love of, yeah, sorry, sidetrack. But so I think somebody's tapping into our story. And if the story doesn't resonate, it could be that it hasn't happened yet, or it's already happened and is no longer a thing. It also might be that it's for a small number of people, not for the majority, but for people who really need this message. Because I think that if there's a huge shift coming, or a real urgency, or even just a real ripeness, I think that those somehow get to the head of the line. Those are the stories that come out because they have to. it's more urgent. And I think that wide net of the story that resonates with a lot of us is just why we watch these things. You know, if a reader tells my story over and over again, even if I don't like the reader, particularly their mannerisms or something, I'll stick with them because they're telling my story. Most of the time, obviously not all the time. So something about going from the little to the big concerns. Sometimes the small number of people harboring that same concern can actually come through as a stronger message. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I sort of do. Wow. That's a really nice way to begin. I mean, it really is. The Sun card of Leo, of brilliance, happiness, light, warmth, revelation. You know, it's when the sun, shadows are diminished. And in the sense of the shadow energy, which is a psychic energy that can really screw up the works. Unless you bring it to the surface, acknowledge it in some way, shine the light on it. Maybe that's what we're doing. And, you know, this is a card of summer. It's Leo. Three of Pentacles. I think this happiness or warmth or revelation is a cooperative effort. Like I was saying at a minute ago, there's something in our group dynamic. You, me, your past, my past, our futures, that, you know, that reveals, shines light on. We share the light. Let's put it that way. Something cooperatively together by how we show up. Pentacles energy. We build something. Three of Pentacles together, and it reveals something for us. There's an us in this. And that may echo certain relationships in your life that aren't just this kind of online situation, but they're really tangible connections. Not that ours isn't tangible, but it's a little bit woo-woo, right? I'm all in favor of woo-woo. Tell us about the thing that is being built. Eight of Wands. Communication. Flow. In fire energy. In the energy of the sun. This is almost like the sunbeams coming in. The light that's shining on us. And it's, you know, wands are directional. This is beaming right toward us. These fire brands, these fire arrows, these back and forth conversation often. It's a conversation, I think, that reveals something that feels true to us. And the us might be, well, let's see. Tell us about the us. Spirit. Wow. Tell us about the us. Okay, I saw 2 more, so I gotta take them. And 1 flew. Once I get the mic and all of that, I realize I am hard to hear. You know, when I'm listening to the video myself, I have to crank it way up. Sorry, gotta get the legs crossed. This is what flew onto the floor. Somebody's been holding back or buckled up, buckled down. Which is interesting because I said, what's this about? 3 of Pentacles. It's about 4 of Pentacles. Well, I think it's the story, the common experience has had to do with feeling unsafe or insecure, or it might be dealing with somebody who is shut down, who's afraid, who's shell-shocked. Ten of Wands. That's over. This is something in fire energy again that somebody's turning their back on. 8 to the 9. You know, some conversation might result in somebody being able to lay down a burden. In fact, the conversation itself closes out. It's getting closure. You get closure and put something behind you in this energy of fire. And I don't get it. It's not like turning your back on the light. It's being ready for the next cycle, which has a lot of feelings. It's an advancement in your ability to feel, in your willingness to feel, or somebody's, because before there was this lockdown. Now there's forward movement. I think this conversation, whatever it is, has great ramifications. Major Arcana, Sun, Chariot. The light, the flow, the ability to move forward. Last card out was 10 of Pentacles. I mean, you know, you're turning your back somehow on this, or somebody is. I mean, that's the deal. If it doesn't it might seem like your story, only the roles are reversed. I'm self-conscious this morning. I'm seeing my big tired face. But this forward movement leads from this insecurity. Somebody may have lost their home. In any case, is really feeling like they're losing their resources. It's weird because the other image that was kind of percolating in my brain as I was setting up the camera and stuff was the idea of the succubus. You know, there's a certain kind of dream you can have, or there's a myth of the succubus, an entity that comes and sits on your chest and like drains your energy. There's something about that here. Somebody might have been draining your energy. I mean, this person looks so pallid. So pale, so drained, so stuck. But there's been this great release that brings a kind of spiritual warmth. This is the monk figure, the Lama, as in Dalai. Enlightened. And then the communication flows. And it's based on the ability to release, deep feelings in a conversation where perhaps before, I think one of you was really holding back. And now there's alignment. Forward movement, and also back and forth. It's kind of back and forth movement. This situation may be, you may be dealing with somebody who's on a distance from you. Something's bringing you closer together. It's your mutual feelings and this conversation, and it kind of reveals that, you're on the same page. You're working toward the same goal. And if one or both of you has been holding back, that cycle is over. Because this conversation resolves something. And we go from 3 of Pentacles to 10 of Pentacles. Building something real that's common ground. Pentacles speak to material things, ground. A safe place where you don't need to be like this to feel safe. You can be luxuriating. It's safe for you. It's safe for the cubs. The children, or don't have to be literal children, but whatever you've created and cherished. It's not a triggery place. The people around you are kind of not only like-minded, but you have common goals to build something. I love the 10 of Pentacles energy here. It's like, it's sort of like this, because I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like this lioness is lit up. She's warm. She's able to give warmth to her children, there's enough. She's abundant, because a bunch of them are nursing as well. There's a card of the mother in this depiction. Can be. Sun is the major. That just tickles me. It's wonderful. Let's clarify the communication, please. I think the communication is to try to establish, how do we move forward? That's what we're going to talk about. How do we move forward into the next cycle? Because 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands. That's the cycle that's complete. So this is sort of the what next? And it looks to me like an 8 of Wands plus 2 of Wands is 10 of Wands. So we're getting that twice over. It looks to me like moving out of this. I mean, sometimes there's a right to left way to read. Not always. I mean, it can get scrambled up. But in this one, I think it really does go right to left. There's this cooperative effort underway to reveal and be in the light, to warm things up. There's conversation to that effect about which way do we go. We've wrapped up a cycle. What's next? What are we moving on from? Fear. The need to protect. That cycle is over. We're moving forward from that. And I think it's, since this card can be about moving too, it's certainly about movement. We're moving forward. It's filtered all the way. Its origins are in our psyche. And there's a feedback loop. And I'm always sort of stumped on how to define the way I use psyche or in tarot in general. These are the big energies that are commonplace to all of us. You know, that collective unconscious. And the minor arcana is how it shows up in your life. You wrap up this cycle, and it like allows for great forward movement, both on the 3D level, 3D being like what happens in your daily life, and on the level of the psyche, this amazing forward movement of Chariot. Fastest card in the deck, but it is a major arcana card. Let's get one on the fear, the insecurity. I mean, that's what we've left behind, but perhaps it's good to know kind of what caused it, or how the cycle was able to be wrapped up. Spirit. Okay. Wow. Okay, hang on. How the cycle was able to be wrapped up victoriously. Somebody's coming back, having won and I don't know what I'm getting something about the camel image. I mean, it's the sun beating down, the rays of the sun, like shining on this decision. What do we do next? You know, we've been victorious over this insecure, clenched, cold, pallid, drained place. Because somebody's put down a big burden, and I think it's you. I think it's you. But it's not like it's you in isolation. You know, there are ripple effects. And there are people who are on a similar journey. Perhaps you and me. Fire victory. You know, having worked something out, gone past 5 of Wands. 5s indicate the need for change. This is like the changes happened. And things worked out in our favor. Or they will. So that's on 4 of Coins, the holding back. This is on the 3 of Coins. King of Wands. You got some fiery person here. Could be a Leo, not necessarily, but they're communicative. If they weren't in the past, if they were, buttoned down, not talking to you, not sharing things, not present. Pentacles are an energy of being present. That's been worked out. You're working with now somebody who really is in sun energy. Warm. In the open. This person doesn't fake it. Couldn't fake it. They're just out there. Perhaps having done shadow work. You have too. So there's an ability to build something with this person. And bottom of the deck was Ten of Swords. Another cycle closing out. A painful cycle. But a transformative cycle. Something was made clear. This is sword energy, which can speak to conversation, but it could be cold. This is a conversation that's warm. It has no holding back in it. And I think that the painful thing that caused this sort of duck and cover reaction, that's over. We're somehow done with that. That goes on 10 of Wands, the other 10. 2 10s are 20. 20 is judgment, the new life. The new life, but I'm hearing happy days are here again. So, 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and on, I love this, on Sun, Temperance, a card of healing, divine timing, and fire. But interestingly enough, this is a calming card, a healing card. It's peaceful. And this isn't not peaceful, but this is a nice counterbalance. Leo, Sag. This can be a card of the individual. This is a card of the blend. And we talked about shadow. And I can't remember what the context was. But in any case, that cycle, really, we've gone full term on something. And we just passed the equinox, moving out of summer into fall, out of quick time, where time passes fast, and I don't quite know. Temperance is called the alchemist here. Well, it's the blend of the two vessels. You get a third thing when you blend these two. It's alchemical. It's like if you mix two volatile chemicals, you can get an explosion. This is exactly the opposite. It's healing, it's calming, it's soothing. It's the balm, B-A-L-M. It may also be the bomb. 2 fire energies. I think that this conversation, this revelation, what's revealed in this conversation will reveal the way forward. It will light the way forward. And they're saying, who are the you in this? Because I think this individual is the person you'll be in cooperative energy with. I think you're 10 of Pentacles person, the nurturer, the person who's in a peaceful place. And I think it's part sun, part shade. It's this dappled light. This is a card of sensuality, too. I don't usually read it that way, but look at her. But it's not frenetic, you know, it's not like crazy love. This is something peaceful and healing. It's being made available, Sun. The peace, the healing, the warmth is being made available. And this is pretty much the result. Peaceful healing made available. We can see it now. It propels us forward. So buckle up, Buttercup. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.